Yo, what is going on, guys? We're back with another Legends video, and real quick, I just want to plug the, Fighters video that went up yesterday, just in case you haven't seen it, man. Go check it out if you're here for the Fighters content. We are gonna try to upload it maybe once a week, maybe every Friday, right? Shout out to, Siriac, who always does a Fighters Friday on Twitch and stuff, sometimes, not all the time, but yeah, basically, we're gonna be talking about Zenkais. You've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen all that crazy stuff. You know what you clicked on this video for. We're gonna be talking about one of the most controversial things in the game. Now, ever since Zenkai came out, starting with this Goku, this this Beerus, this Blue Broly, and Super Saiyan Goku, it has branched out a lot, as you can see, and they actually expanded it all the way into the free-to-play territory, which they did really good on. Because this kid Goku, we all know how annoying he was. It was not really a good red to fight against him, right? And he was just extra tanky. He had the endurance. He hit really hard. He had card draw, everything, right? He was dumb, but obviously his time has passed, kinda, right? He's still viable, but his time is kinda coming to an end. He's actually about to be a year old and he's still runnable, right? So that does say a lot about how well they're making free-to-play units. And this 21, who's gonna have a spot in all her teams for a very long time, it just goes to show you what they can do when it comes to even the free-to-play side, right? But we have Zenkais like Gohan, and we all know how crazy Gohan is. We have Zenkai 18. I think those two are they're in their own caliber, right? I still consider Gohan to be better than 18. We all know why. Type neutrality, freaking support, all that stuff, right? There's nothing Gohan can't do. But it's like, when it comes to them two, I'd put them in like a Z plus tier if there ever was one, right? Since there's an equipped tier Z plus, we're gonna put them there. Then I consider probably, this is not really a tier list, but like someone like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Bardock, Super Gogeta, I'd consider them Z tier. And Namek Goku, he's a game changer. Like, Namek Goku actually has the power to become a Z plus tier, because if you use him so well, like you just can't lose with him, right? He's really good. And I don't know. Namek Goku is just like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes people overlook him, but we all know how crazy is his counter, right? That can counter almost anything except for tap and tackle. I think it can, and taps, right? But yeah. Moral of the story, we all know how good he is. He's still really good. But yeah. And then you have Zenkais like these three right here, right? Where, quote unquote, they're balanced, right? That's what they are. They're not too crazy and they're not bad. They're way better than they were before. They're runnable now. You could literally run Frieza and Metal Cooler now, right? They're runnable. They will do some damage. They will tank a lot, right? Because Metal Cooler is not really an offensive kind. And then it's just like, then there's all the in between, right? So there's Zenkais like these three, and then there's Zenkais like these two, and then everything else in between. It's like, why can't you just be consistent? Why can't all of them be like these three, right? Because I'd rather have balance than OP, right? It brings a healthy game. It creates a healthy game, right? And we all know how toxic. I mean, I would consider Zenkai toxic, because it does give you a huge advantage, right? Because say if you're going to get somebody without like Zenkai units, right? You're probably gonna pummel them, right? Unless they're a really good player. But 9 times out of 10, I think Zenkais will probably almost always win against non-Zenkais, especially when you're running Gohan or 18, right? And then also, actually, I'd probably, yeah, Super Saiyan 3 I'd consider better than these two. I'd say he's like the tier above balance, like one tier above balance, because he's actually like not crazy, but he is like so good now, right? Like, you can literally play well with him, right? You could abuse his green card, which can counter and which can chain into anything. He has ult hits hard. He has type neutrality for 10 seconds, which is actually really good, right? That's enough time for you to rush somebody and then have the type neutrality buff, right? So it doesn't matter who you hit with it. And yeah, so like, if all of Zenkai's were like centered around his skill level, his power, it would be good. Because like Broly is still good, but you have to run him with Bardock 9 times out of 10 in order for him to like bring out his full potential. Because without Bardock, he doesn't really do a lot. His card draw speed is really good, but I always say that ever since his card draw speed thing has been a thing, right? I've always said that I wish he came in with the level 1 card draw speed, and then after maybe like 5 timer counts, he gets the level 2, right? Because it would have been way more clutch, because he literally comes in with key and cards, but you don't come in with draw speed. So what if you just finish chaining a combo with like Bardock, and then you switch into Broly? You're barely gonna have any key because he only restores 30 key, and then not to mention you're barely gonna have any cards to chain off of, right? So it's kind of weird, man. But I don't know. I consider like a Super Saiyan 3 Goku like that threshold that all Zenkai should be balanced around. And if that was the case, the game would be at such a more easier spot. It would be at a healthier spot, right? But then, I mean, you have the free-to-play Legends Road Zenkais who are, I mean, once you get a full-fledged Zenkai buff, right? Once you get 6 Zenkai buffs in one team and they're all buffing each other, you can probably get number 1 with them, right? Depending on how good you are. There's also a factor on how, like, good you are at the game, because it does, at a certain extent, have a skill level, right? You still have to know what you're doing, even though it's just a mobile game, right? Quote unquote, it's just a mobile game, right? Like, you still have to know what you're doing. You still have to be a good. You have to be good at the game, bro. That's all I can say. But yeah, I don't really want to ramble on too long because there's not really anything else to say. Like, then Zenkais are not going anywhere. It's literally the future of the game. Every unit will eventually get a Zenkai. Every single last one of them will get a Zenkai. I mean, maybe the heroes and extremes will stay free to play, because who's summoning for an extreme unit, right? Who's gonna summon to Zenkai an extreme unit? Maybe Garesh, right? But not us, right? Like, not us, like dolphins, fishes. I don't really think we're really gonna do that, right? But I think sticking to free to play extreme Zenkais, that's the way. Do everyone free to play, even Red Gogeta. But yeah. As for the summonable sparking units, which actually I do want to say one positive thing that comes from this is that the Legends Limited, I mean, they already know how hard it is to get it to 7 stars, right? Because of the booty rate. So they at least did us one up, and they did put the Zenkai souls in the shop, so you don't have to spend 7k crystals at all. You're basically getting this free Zenkai 7 powerful unit, but you had to have spent crystals before on getting them to 7 stars, right? So it does come with an extent, but it is a payout reward, I guess. It is a risk, not a risk and reward, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, right? I have to spend crystals because if I pull one more of him, I get him to 6 stars. Then I already summoned on the multi-Z power banner, which I'm definitely going to use on him to get him to 7 stars and run a Saiyan team with Bardock and all that. But that's not the point. We're going to get him to 7 stars and then Zenkai 7 him immediately. Well, not immediately, because now you have to, like, it takes a little longer. Actually, no, it's the same, but it's going to take time because the Ultra Space Time Rush, it's every 2 weeks, right? So doing the math, is going to take me approximately like 6 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. No, not 6, 4. Like 4 weeks, or... But there's some, it's not going to take that long, like a month. It'll take like a month or a month and a half. Yeah, a month and 2 weeks, right? That's like, what, 6 weeks? Yeah, I was right. Okay. Yeah, it will take 6 weeks for me to get him to Zenkai 7, but that's not even the point. It's still that you're getting a free Zenkai. And Gohan, you literally get the best unit in the game for free, considering you do have him at 7 stars. I mean, the dude is literally coming up on 2 years old, so... I mean, most people in the game do have him at 7 stars, due to the fact that how many times I run into him. But yeah, and then Majin Buu, who's still really good, and he was really actually one of the first Zenkais in the game, right? And he's still really, really good. People like